One very exciting integration that's coming up is with XRPL. And a lot of people are familiar with Ripple, the company. Many people are familiar also with XRPL, which is the XRP ledger, where the XRP currency resides. And they have a new initiative where they're launching a new EVM chain to bring DeFi to the Ripple ecosystem. They have a new stablecoin, and they're going to be using Axelar to bridge over XRP from the XRP ledger to the XRP ledger sidechain. It's an EVM sidechain, so that people can use it for gas to use the chain. So anyone who's going to be using DeFi on the EVM sidechain of XRPL will have to use Axelar to pay for gas. And we're talking about one of the biggest assets in the space. Again, $200 billion asset in FDV. And to my knowledge, that's the biggest asset that picked the canonical interoperability solution to bridge to another ecosystem, and they picked Axelar.
Introducing Project Dama 2, a transformative, multi-chain digital fund servicing solution to unlock new fund innovations and distribution at scale. Deutsche Bank, driving innovation as part of the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Project Guardian, collaborates with Memento Blockchain and Interop Labs on the minimal viable product. Memento Blockchain, using ZK Sync's cutting-edge zero-knowledge technology, has created Memento ZK Chain, a powerful, secure, and scalable blockchain. With features like soul-bound token for investor management and fund compliance, Paymaster to simplify gas fee payments using traditional payment rails, custom-built Explorer for managed transaction privacy and regulatory oversight, and built-in smart contracts to service digital fund life cycles with a central view into asset servicing books of records across chains. The future of digital fund management and asset servicing is here. Leveraging on Axelar Network's industry-leading cross-chain interoperability technology, Memento ZK Chain can connect to over 60 blockchain ecosystems.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to be discussing and talking about some groundbreaking developments that have just been released today as of time of recording, March 5th, 2025, on the Axelar network. If you guys enjoy deep dives like this, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button and subscribe. Now, there is a precursor to today's video breakdown. If you did not watch the most recent video that I uploaded on the X space on Axelar, this is almost about a 30-minute deep dive on Axelar, discussing and talking about ongoing developments, how they're integrated into the financial system as the interoperable infrastructure that this new digital system is being built out on for different blockchains to coexist seamlessly together in an interoperable fashion. Go check this video breakdown out. It is extremely in-depth. As of time of recording this video breakdown, it is not dropped on my YouTube platform, so I'm excited for my YouTube audience to see this. I tend to drop my videos on X, if you haven't noticed, before I drop them on YouTube. So if you guys don't follow me on X, make sure that you go over and do so, because the time that you watch this video breakdown, this video will already have released on X. All right, but we're just going to jump into some massive fundamentals, proving my point here in this post where I said to you guys, you should be paying attention right now to projects who have been building out solutions, sitting in on closed-door meetings, conducting proof of concepts with the largest organizations, connecting with other projects and networks, hosting spaces and attending events, complying with regulations, and helping support infrastructure for financial institutions. These will be the projects that melt people's faces when the market is sitting at $6 to $10 trillion in market cap. Lock in. And man, I cannot even, these fundamentals that have just recently dropped, I said to you guys in the next post over here, Axelar is one of the most undervalued utility assets available today. There are many others, but Axelar is 110% one of them. And here I quoted this piece from this fundamental development that we're going to go over today, where they say Axelar is one of the most advanced interoperable platforms. Axelar network is uniquely suited to interconnect Web3 and traditional finance. This is absolutely massive. So we're going to head over here to a CoinDesk article that just came out today, and we're going to go down the rabbit hole. Canary Capital files to launch ETF tracking cross-chain protocol Axelar, which we previously covered in the video breakdown that I just mentioned and suggested you guys go and watch as a precursor to this one. But this fundamental piece is from March 5th, 2025. Now, Again, that video breakdown that I made prior to this one will give you an insight as to why I said XLR is one of the most undervalued utility assets available today, but just taking into consideration what an individual rep from Canary Capital said. Canary Capital, which is led by the former Valkyrie Funds co-founder Steve McCullough, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, has filed with the SEC to launch an ETF tracking XLR token. XLR, a cross-chain protocol connecting blockchains, has been integrated by major players like JP Morgan, Microsoft, Uniswap, and MetaMask, whom in which you most likely all know those names. Former Coinbase legal chief officer Brian Brooks has joined XLR's new institutional advisory board as the project focuses on regulatory alignment and institutional adoption. This is a freaking massive headline right here, and I feel like it has gotten no attention. Then here, this individual goes on to say, the gentleman from Canary Capital says, XLR has one of the best dev teams in blockchain. Most viable protocols work with them on-chain interoperability, said Steve McCullough, Chief Executive Officer at Canary Capital. There is no question that XLR will be a top 20 token by market capitalization as the market discovers them. This is why we took the risk. Keep in mind, they filed for an XLR. Keep in mind, they filed for an XLR ETF. This is insane. You can see here the firm submitted an S1 filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission on Wednesday, kicking off the process to launch such a fund. The hedge fund has previously filed the paperwork for several other ETFs as well. Some of these have already been acknowledged by the commission and await approval. This is massive. So take into consideration that this chief executive officer at Canary Capital saying that XLR will be a top 20 token. No bullish moon boy hype here. This is not my prediction. This is just going off of his analysis and why I said that XLR is probably one of the most undervalued utility assets on the market. I hardly ever make price predictions on the CYPRX platform unless I'm doing technical analysis and I'm showing you guys my trading. But look at this. If we were to put in right now the current supply in the market at XLR, and XLR's price was to go to Soy's price, or market cap, excuse me, at $8.4 billion, sitting at the number 20 spot. One XLR would be worth $9, would put you at about a 20x in your investment. Not financial advice. I'm just here going off of what the gentleman from Canary Capital said, and he mentioned, which is why we are taking the risk. This is insane. Current price right now sitting at 44 cents. So today, the XLR Foundation welcomes Brian Brooks, U.S., to its newly formed institutional advisory board. But this piece reads, XLR Foundation today announces that it has appointed Brian Brooks, a leader in advancing regulatory clarity and institutional adoption of blockchain tech, to its newly formed institutional advisory board. XLR Foundation is a nonprofit organization established to support growth in the adoption of the XLR network, a decentralized blockchain interoperability platform. Digitization and tokenization of financial assets, such as stablecoins and real-world assets, is critical in order to ensure U.S. resilience and global competitiveness. To do so successfully, tokenized assets need to be accessible across all blockchains, and blockchain interoperability is critical technology in enabling this, Brian Brooks said. Keep that in mind. I'm actually going to highlight that right there, and I'm going to transition over to the more recent fundamental piece that just came out, because if we come over to the Cobalt upgrade that XLR just had, and we scroll right down here, paying attention to key vocabulary, which I like to do for you guys, you can see right here, very simplistic, it says XLR network is capable of connecting all blockchains, which Brian Brooks, the former acting of the comptroller, said is necessary in order for interconnection and for this whole entire system to actually work, right? It says to do it successfully, tokenized assets need to be accessible across all blockchains. And the XLR network allows for this to happen. The interoperability stack can only scale when its foundations are secure, decentralized and open source so anyone can integrate around them. As the most advanced interoperable platform, XLR Network is uniquely suited to interconnect Web3 and traditional finance. With regulatory clarity on the horizon, financial institutions have made a business case for stablecoins and other tokenized real-world assets on blockchains. As they prepare to innovate globally available financial products, their need to interconnect multiple public and private blockchains has been documented by XLR Foundation and Metrika in a white paper, which you can click and read here, with insights from Citi, Deutsche Bank, MasterCard, and Northern Trust. And I already just showed you guys an opening video breakdown of Deutsche Bank utilizing Axelar in a project that they are associated with, right? Which is just so massive. It goes to prove that Axelar network is being used, or at least in proof of concepts behind the scenes, right? Brian has been a leading voice for clear regulation and institutional use cases for decentralized blockchain tech, said Georgios. I'm not going to butcher this gentleman's last name. He is the co-founder of Axelar Protocol and the director at Axelar Foundation. As an advisor, Brian will be a tremendous partner in our continued efforts to advance blockchain interoperability infrastructure and tooling that accelerates compliant stablecoin availability worldwide. Brian Brooks previously served as acting comptroller of the currency, where he was the administrator of the federal banking system, supervising institutions responsible for approximately 70% of all U.S. banking business. He also served as chief legal officer at Coinbase, executive VP and general counsel at Fannie Mae, and the CEO of Bitfury. So groundbreaking fundamental piece here today. Really great to see. And then Brian Brooks actually posted this out on his X profile where he said, this is a thesis. All legacy payments have a common base layer, the Federal Reserve. For stablecoins to win, layer ones need to be unified through interoperability. Axelar has built the best tech and he is excited to help. And then he reposted Axelar Network's post. So that was just so great to see today. Groundbreaking fundamentals left and right. This space moves so fast. Axelar Network today also posted this. They're talking about their Cobalt upgrade, which brought Axelar Tokenomics 2.0, scaling Axelar to support thousands of chains. Then they mentioned lower inflation, burning 98% of network fees, where 100,000 tokens plus per week of Axelar, according to multichain.money, will be burned. If you guys head over to my X profile, again, I posted this a couple of days ago on February 26, 2025, breaking this down in very simplistic terms, where I said here, with this Cobalt upgrade, 98% of Axelar transaction fees are burned, meaning those tokens are permanently removed from circulation. Meanwhile, new blockchains like Solana, Stellar, XRPL, lock up existing Axelar to reward verifiers who secure their connections. This setup reduces the overall supply of Axelar while increasing its demand as more chains join. Less supply plus more demand, obviously, of course, long-term equals bullish price action for Axelar. And I gave you guys a little built-out Venn diagram utilizing artificial intelligence to show you guys in detail what all of this is. Keep in mind, Axelar is integrating with Soy, they're integrating with Hedera, XRPL, Solana, and many other blockchains in the future moving forward that might even not have been announced yet, right? Even at the most recent HederaCon event taking place just the other day, only 8 days ago, they also talked about how they chose Axelar as a bridge solution.
On the bridges side, these are going to be our roads coming into our village. We have leaders Layer 0 and Axelar. They both move messages across chain, but they do it a little bit differently. For instance, Layer 0 relies on relayers to listen to smart contract events and then sign a multi-signature scheme to pass that message to the destination chain. And Axelar also passes messages from a source chain to a destination chain, but they rely on a intermediary chain where verifiers vote on smart contract events that they've seen, and they reach consensus in that way on their intermediary chain before passing it to the destination chain.
So that was just more confirmation, again, that in some way, shape, or form, Hedera interconnected with Axelar. We know Brian Brooks mentioned, right? To do this successfully, tokenized assets need to be accessible across all blockchains, and blockchain interoperability is a critical technology enabling this. And he mentioned Axelar has the ability to do this. As more blockchains come onto the Axelar network, this is going to continue to increase demand for Axelar, the digital asset. As always, none of this is financial advice. Always make sure that you guys are going out there, you're doing your own personal research. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy the digital asset Axelar or expose yourself to the crypto ecosystem. There's a lot of inherent volatility involving yourself in crypto that you need to be mindful and aware of. As always, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform if you enjoyed today's video breakdown. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.